Mr. Wakefield, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
You know, you did some work for me when I was editing Nouveau.
Yes.
And some of the work you did seemed to loop back on some of your earliest work, I thought. You covered the Emmett Till murder trial for The Nation back in '55. You've always been interested in things like social justice and racial inequality, and that's why you wound up doing the story for us at Nouveau on folks from Indianapolis who were put into Japanese internment camps and telling their stories years later.
Yes, yeah, I was amazed. I never knew about that, and I was thrilled to know that Indianapolis was one of the cities that volunteered to help some of those people come back into regular society, get out of the prison camps. And of course, their only crime was that they were Japanese and they were living on the West Coast.
You went from reporter to novelist. Man, that seems like that'd be a heck of a jump. How did you have to change your skill set? What kind of different muscles do you use when you jump from nonfiction to fiction?
Well, I think that was always my intent. I mean, to me, journalism was like warming up to do the novel. Oh. And that was my great goal.
You were from Indianapolis. You wrote Going All the Way. You set it in Indianapolis. Put the Red Key on the map nationally, put you on the map nationally, and your friend Kurt Vonnegut said you'd never be able to come back to Indianapolis again after that book came out.
Yeah, that was pretty true for a long time. And yeah, I had death threats, and people were going to come to Boston where I lived and beat the hell out of me and other things like that. Everybody thought they were a figure, or their old girlfriend was a figure in the novel, which was not true. There was even only one figure who was based on somebody.
You wound up working for network TV for a brief period of time, too. You were responsible for the creation of James at 15.
Yeah.
The show. I looked up the ratings on that pilot. You got a 42 share for that pilot. That thing was a smash. You were with that show for one season. They changed the title to James at 16, and you wound up leaving the show because of creative differences with the producers, right?
Creative differences. They wouldn't let us mention birth control.
Right, yep. It did give you the experience of creating a screenplay, which led you to writing the screenplay for Going All the Way, turning your novel into a screenplay.
I said to the director and producer, I'll only do it if I can meet with you guys every 20 pages. The screenplay's about 120 pages. And these two guys were great. It was their first film. They were very idealistic. They wanted the writer to be in on it all the time. The novel had been optioned 5 times before, but everybody else wanted to shoot it in Toronto or LA and make it in the 80s or something. And these were the only guys that said, we want to shoot it in Indianapolis, we want you to write the script, and we want to keep it in 1954. And that's what made it.
You're still writing, you're involved in all kinds of stuff. You did the show for WFYI-FM, the Uncle Dan Story Hour, you're doing the thing at the Jazz Kitchen.
Yeah.
The Uncle Dan and Sophie Show is, I believe, the title of that. And you also had a park named after you. There's Dan Wakefield Park at 61st and Broadway. I was there at the dedication. I heard from Richard Lugar. We heard from Mayor Hogsett speaking. What is that like when you get the call that, hey, we're going to name a park after Dan Wakefield?
It was a shock. It was great to have Lugar there. Lugar and I wrote rival sports columns on the Shortridge Daily Echo. And he wrote on the Tuesday Echo, and I wrote on the Thursday Echo. And we had a lot of fun teasing each other, and we've remained friends through the years.
Journalism's been on hard times, at least in the print universe. Well, in general, it has. Do you have advice for aspiring writers, somebody who wants to get into the business, whether it's fiction or nonfiction? What would you say to them?
It's ironic because there's a million places you can write. You can write online, and one of the great things Mark Vonnegut said last night, you don't have to have permission to write. You don't have to have an agent to write. All you need is a pencil and a piece of paper. And I know people who are publishing their own books and making their own publicity. A woman I got to know who went to Shortridge, Alita Hodge, wrote a book that's just come out on Indiana Avenue. She's been on radio interviews. She published it herself. And it's more now like a do-it-yourself game.
Dan, we'll see you at the Red Key.
Okay.
Get a glass of wine and a burger. Sound good?
And come to the Uncle Dan and Sophie show at the Jazz Kitchen.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Pleasure.